Hello folks, and in today's video, we're doing the Great Model Train Q&A. Yes, in today's video, I'm doing my 500 subscriber special Q&A. Yeah, very surprising, I actually got to doing this. Wow. So yeah, let's get straight into this. So, this first question comes from Fox River Productions. When can I come over to your house to run trains? Well, that's a good question, Fox River Productions. I don't think I will be doing an open house anytime soon, as my layout is way too tight to do an open house. Um, my layout's more of a personal, house thing only. If I had my layout a bit different, then maybe we could do something like that. But no, not currently at the moment. I will not be doing any open houses. So maybe in the future, maybe in a couple of years, I will. If I'm still here in a couple of years, which I think I will be, although I may be in conductor school by then. So watch out for that. Next one comes from DNRGW 497. Are you going to get a DNRGW locomotive in the future, O scale and HO included? Yes, I hope to get Alco PAs or F3s in the future that are DNRGW to pull my California Zephyr. So yeah, short answer, yes, definitely. Next one comes from BSNF 1692. Can you build a locomotive out of spare parts, kind of like what I did with AWR #5? Maybe. I've never done that before. I can try though. Maybe I can. Probably won't be that hard. So yeah, maybe. We'll have to see what happens in the future. Alrighty, so that's all the questions that you guys have gave me, and I have some questions that I made that you guys might want to know. But before we start my questions, if you guys have any questions, please put them in below, down below in the comment section, so I can at least use them for my next Q&A for the 600 subscriber one, which I am hoping that we will. And, I will say one thing, if you guys are wanting this, I'll do a face reveal when we get to 1,000 subscribers. Now, I know that's not going to really happen that fast. Probably, I'd say in 2 years. I think in 2 years I'd get to maybe 1,000 subscribers. But moving on that, if you guys could please put your questions in the comments, and I will use them for next subscriber reaching thing milestone. All right, now moving on to my questions. What's my favorite locomotive in my entire collection? My favorite locomotive in my entire collection is my MTH 412-2. Well, you might be saying, why? The locomotive doesn't even run. Well, the locomotive doesn't run, as I believe something happened with a chuff sensor in it, and it made a broke or something. I think I shorted the system out by accident, though, unfortunately. I will say, one of the reasons why it's my favorite is because it actually has moving valve gear on the locomotive, and the what's it called? The balancer in the front actually moves with the chuffing, and unlike the Broadway Limited counterparts, none of those parts actually move. People might be saying, well, that one has articulation, the MTH1. Well, it's not too hard to just screw in the screw, and you disable articulation. So yeah, I definitely say the MTH1 is a lot better, and I just love it for that. And it does actually sound like the real one in real life, which is something I really admire about MTH. Next thing, how big is my model train layout? Well, my model train layout is roughly, I'd say, 11 by 8 feet. So yeah, it's a decent size. I can do about 30 cars, having a good distance between the front and the rear of the train without them touching. 40 cars is the max I can do before the nose literally touches in on the train. So that's how many cars I can do on my layout. I believe I have a 2% grade. I'm not entirely sure though. I know some locomotives do slow down and speed up in some areas, which is because I have uneven track. But of course, I live in a century home. My house is 125 years old. No, I'm not just saying that. It really is, which is actually kind of interesting because 125 years ago, the Dreyfus Hudsons would have been running. So technically this house would have been experiencing the whistles on the Dreyfus Hudsons, since my house is actually kind of not that far from New York. Even though I live in Ontario, I'm not probably about a good, I don't know, couple hours, I think, not that far. So it's possible that if the New York Central ran up towards Buffalo, that I could have heard it. Although I'm not sure where the New York Central actually ran, but hey, it's possible. Next thing, what's my favorite railroad? My favorite railroad is, well, I'm pretty sure the Union Pacific. Well, why the Union Pacific? Big Boy, FEF-3, Bull Moose, Challenger, and other things like that. I really like Union Pacific's locomotives, and their heritage schemes look really good. Like the Spirit of the Union Pacific one, I like a lot. So that's why it's my favorite railroad. Another question you guys may have, what type of track do I use? I use Code 100 track for my layout. All of it is Atlas Code 100. It's all flex track too, so I've done the curves all by hand. None of it is laid just using clips. It's all nailed into the plywood. So yes, I have cut myself doing it before, so there is blood, sweat, and tears into this layout. So yeah, very interesting. And now another question you guys might have: what's my favorite brand of locomotive manufacturers? My favorite brand for locomotive manufacturers, I'd say Scale Drains, because they don't cheap out on details. They go all the way through when it comes to details. They don't stop at little ones. They just continue, which I love a lot about Scale Drains. If that makes any sense, they don't skimp out. That's what I'll say. My second favorite locomotive brand is Rapido. This one might actually shock you. My third favorite locomotive brand is actually, drum roll please, MTHHO. Even though MTHHO isn't around, they're still very good. Of course, like every other brand, MTHHO had their problems, so I'm not saying that they're the best. I'm just saying that I simply like them. Alright, moving on. Another question. If I could switch scales, which scale would I switch to? A scale that I would switch to would be O scale. Why O scale? Well, the first ever set that ever got me into the model train, electric train hobby was an O scale Lionel Wegman set, part of the 100th year anniversary that I got in 2012. I still have the original tender, although I don't have the original locomotive, I still have the original tender. Which, yeah, is very nice. I really do love that set a lot. It's one of my best performing sets. Yeah, and I will say it's very, very nice. Another question you guys may have or may not have is, if I could ever model a real railroad, what would it be? Well, no doubt in my mind it'd be Union Pacific. Well, why Union Pacific? Well, I simply just love how the Union Pacific locomotives look. And I mean, heck, I really think that Union Pacific would look pretty good in HO scale. I know some people have already done it, which does kind of deter me a little bit because I wouldn't really have anything special, So maybe I will and I won't. Although something I would like to do, I would like to have a dual gauge track so I can run HO and 30 locomotives on it, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, that might be something in the future I might do. So yeah, maybe a Union Pacific Railroad. But alright guys, I think that's gonna be it for my 500 subscribers special Q&A video. And also, I think I already said this anyways in the video, but if we ever hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I will do a face reveal. No, I'm not joking around, I actually will, if we hit 1,000 subscribers. And if you guys can, please like and subscribe. It really does actually make me want to continue, filming and making reviews for you guys. So if you guys can do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, one thing, if you guys have any other questions for me, I will make sure to read all of them in the comments, and If you do put them in the comments, I will use them for my 600 subscriber Q&A video. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching me yap, and I will see y'all in my next one. Goodbye.